Hello and welcome to Finextra. I'm Hannah Wallace and we're here today in Dublin for EBA Day 2017. Joining me is Gene Villeneuve and Hanily from IBM. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Part of the move to immediate payments is about compliance. But is this good business-wise? Can banks still make a profit on immediate payments?
Banks today, yes, certainly have to be compliant with the rule books that have been defined in Europe and also around the world as well. But the challenge is that the amount of revenue that they can generate is quite low, and where you can only charge less than €1 for processing an instant payment. So really the objective is, how do I introduce my instant payment service with as low a cost as possible? One of the examples that we have worked with one of our customers is they have seen a over 30% reduction in total cost of ownership, which means it's driving down the cost of introducing payment services. And the way that they achieve this is by being able to reuse existing infrastructure, existing environment that they have got from us, but also reusing things like integration points, which is a big challenge for a lot of banks where they have to integrate with legacy environments. So being able to reuse as much as possible is a big objective. And then finally, it's the whole being able to, how can I accelerate my implementation and de-risk that implementation? And that's something we've been helping our banks with by having pre-tested from a non-functional point of view, helping the banks to achieve a speedy deployment of their instant payment service.
I think the core point here is that a lot of our customers already have our base platform, the financial transaction management capability, and by adding the incremental value of what we call immediate payments or instant payments, they're able to reuse a lot of that investment they've already made in order to accelerate their path to instant payments or immediate payments. And that's the IBM advantage that we think that we see in the market landscape, and the feedback that we're getting from the market is that the customer's point of view, when they're looking at the different paths they could take, by doing that incremental investment in the immediate payments module, they can more quickly become compliant with the immediate or instant payment schemes, but also leverage, to the point that Paul made, all these existing investments and connectivities.
How is your organization helping clients move towards immediate payments? Because many see it as a necessity with a conversion cost with zero ROI.
So what we are doing is we help the banks to accelerate the implementation. An example I have from a few years ago, which is analogous, which was the introduction of SEPA credit transfer. We had worked with one of our Scandinavian banks and started the project in January, and they were in production by the beginning of May, having gone through scripted testing, etc. with EBA, which is analogous to what they will have to do. There's a very quick turnaround, just over 4 months from starting with requirements, definition to going into production. So we believe that our acceleration will help the banks to be able to achieve a quick deployment. Another example actually is in a study that we have done recently with one of our customers. Is they are seeing their productivity increasing by over 20% year on year, which means that they can deliver new value-add services quicker, bring it to the market. So we're confident that we can help our customers introduce instant payments in a very timely manner.
And of course, effective payment processing is core for banking operations. But let's face it, it's hardly glamorous, or can it be?
Well, we believe it can be glamorous, because what IBM is very much helping banks with is in the whole cognitive agenda using our Watson platform. So we're able to, for example, in the area of instant payments, do real-time fraud detection. And this is machine learning. It's a really, we think, a revolutionary type of service where banks are quickly going to be able to detect if there's a fraudulent transaction. That's just one example. Our vision is really to have a payments platform that will exploit the capabilities of cognitive, which means you're going to get better insights into all of the transactions that are being processed, Another example is one of our clients that had been dealing with corporate customers was able to use the centralized data that we capture relating to payments, merge that with their core banking systems, and able to deliver value-add services out to their corporate clients by showing cash positions based on the implication of submitting payments, etc. There are lots and lots of examples, but we believe that our platform will be able to help banks deliver value-add services. And I always like, there's an equation that's used, that how do you increase trust levels of your customer to be able to attract more and more customers? Because increased trust levels, the equation is trust equals transparency plus innovation. So if you're able to show innovation and able to show that you're end-to-end transparency on transactions, you're going to be able to have a better experience for your end user.
Yeah, and the other key point around here is that the banks and a lot of the clearing and settlement mechanism organizations see this as a huge opportunity to look at the market differently and position themselves for a new way of enabling payments or instant payments. So what we're hearing from the banks and from the CSMs is that this is real. They know they need to do it. And so they're evaluating either building it themselves on top of the existing FTM investments they have from IBM, or looking at a cloud solution, or looking at something in between the two like a managed service. And the nice thing about the IBM portfolio and the series of capabilities that we have is that we could go with a fully cloud deployed solution to help them get up and running very quickly, or to a managed service, or we could sell them the immediate payments module and have them run that on, in many instances, the banks want to run this on their core mainframe systems. So this helps them get more value at a lot of the ZOS platform that they already have. And many of the banks are looking at, because of that trusted platform that they've been using for decades, looking at how to reuse that trusted platform to also enable them to get to market with a robust system.
And that's an important point, because we've been spending a lot of time doing the non-functional testing to show that we are able to, particularly on the mainframe environment on the Z platform, being able to show that we can hit the service level agreements, but also the throughputs that banks will anticipate as the volumes go up.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
And enjoy with the rest of the event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for watching.